greatest of all time against the new world champion. Even the introductions seemed a little bit unusual. It's a great occasion for Kyren. As you said, world champion being introduced, playing Ronnie.
So first chance to Kyren Wilson. That's a good pot to middle pocket. Ronnie O'Sullivan unable to find cover in the balk area. Matching the Shanghai Masters, which I actually commentated on when he lost 6-0 to Zhou Yulong. That would have been by far the start that Kyren Wilson
tried to put on the waistcoat, and rightly so. Plenty of opportunities.
5.
To business.
Yeah, and if you look at the, he had a stern test in Matthew Selt yesterday, but Matthew unable
11.
to.
Kyren Wilson, 11.
If you're going on form this.
One.
4-2 down. Show tremendous character and bottle.
Quite often when someone wins an event, there's always a moment, isn't there, throughout the week where you can look back and think, well, that was the key moment.
7.
And you're right, we could definitely be looking back.
8.
And then that's going to be inevitable that he would clear. It's kind of the stature and reputation he has in the game. Last few years. This term
16.
certainly get him up and running. And again, he could have a phenomenal season. I don't think we're going at spot. And you want to know where exactly will it go? Obviously.
24.
And again, if he wasn't sure, that's why.
At every event as the world champion. He will really love that.
31.
He'll relish it. And he'll continue to work hard.
Yeah, Judd Trump in his interview yesterday.
$35.
In the earlier matches in the tournament for Ronnie, particularly the first 2 plays.
Interestingly as well, they've played 3 best of 11s throughout their
42.
career. And so if that tells you anything, this game could go very close. As I suppose we expect. It's hard to see. And with that red
50.
and this black to follow.
Kyren Wilson, 57.
I thought he might have played for that loop. Just taking a little bit of time. And usually before the semi-finals, new cloth is put on, so even though Ronnie's been playing this table more or less every day, brand new cloth would just change how it plays slightly.
One.
It's not ideal on black or pink.
To leave where it was for a snooker in behind from
7.
the last red. So Ronnie just amount of snookers he requires.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, when he put that last red, has he maybe just given for, as you said, table time, potting balls?
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 19.
Because the fact he needs 14 points worth of fouls, even if he got a free ball and red and the black, he'd still need another snooker. If a free ball, it's a better chance, but that's all going to be put to bed now anyway.
1.
Slight inconvenience at the end for Kyren Wilson.
A good Ronnie O'Sullivan, it's particularly important. Just sends out a message. Couple shots he struck very nicely from range. A long way to go in this match. Interval off facing the final. But it's Kyren Wilson who has taken first blood here at the Kijang Esports Centre. The Warrior currently leading Ronnie O'Sullivan 1-0.
Frame. Kyren Wilson to break.
Kyren Wilson's first taste of success came here in China back in 2015 at the Shanghai Masters, where he beat Judd Trump, and since then has gone on to win 6 ranking titles, including the big one in Sheffield.
Oh,
that's more like it. Just float the cue ball down for the reds above the black.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 5.
Expected a double from Kyren there, but it's a back. Must fail this red, just goes. Yeah, always looked. He'll see that as weakness. However, it's a fine line. You don't want to push the boat out. Kyren's good safety.
That was the butt of his cue. He's not happy one bit with the shot he's just played, and Kyren Wilson will pick up on that.
Ronnie's not going to get it.
7.
Also the possibility it could run away from him quickly. Kyren's not going to be looking over his shoulder if he does have.
15. $23.
This little mini session before the interval is key. After the start he's made, he'll...
31. $39.
today is he might get an opportunity.
47.
Kyren, look.
Team look pretty sharp. Which of course they have to be when you're playing someone like
53.
Ronnie. Keeps Ronnie in his seat, there's nothing he can do. Away than he would have liked. And again,
59.
negotiated it very nicely. Up onto the cue ball, he's obviously fine. Yeah, no problems.
67. $74. Kyren Wilson, 74.
Well, a break of
Conceded.
74, world champion, 2-0 to the good. For here at the
Third frame, Ronnie
Xi'an
O'Sullivan
Grand
to
Prix.
break.
Kyren Wilson edging closer to that title match tomorrow. But first, he has to overcome Ronnie O'Sullivan, but he's made the better of the starts, 2-0. For a much better start this year.
Yeah, he wouldn't have planned on having a bad season. But that becomes a great chance for his opponent. That adds to the pressure.
One.
And needs a bit of luck, that's no good.
So if I'd gone anywhere near the blue, just risk he didn't have to take.
Seven.
It's obviously tight.
The first 4 shots of this break have been far from easy for Ronnie. He's looking for another good positional
Okay.
shot here. So now finds himself in prime position.
70.
It's going to play the better safety for their opponent
25.
and also themselves, because we've seen already, you have to assume if you leave your opponent in, he's crucial.
33.
He's played a couple of shots up. You can see just his little subtle facial expression. Chance
41.
to rectify things here. Brilliant. It really could be game on.
49.
Player like Ronnie O'Sullivan is invincible. He doesn't feel any nerves. In the build-up to these big
55.
occasion matches, he still feels the nerves, he's still feeling it.
Yeah, as a player, it was encouraging actually to see that he feels the same way.
63.
Can also everybody players are able to deal with those nerves better than others.
71.
Yeah, there was a chance that Kyren So often he produces the goods, Ronnie O'Sullivan. When you leave him a chance like that, you have to expect the worst. And that break of 78 from Ronnie O'Sullivan keeps his hopes alive and closes the gap. He trails 2-1. 2-1 the scoreline here. World champion Kyren Wilson leading Ronnie O'Sullivan. The final frame before the interval. And it's a big one. Can Kyren Wilson extend his advantage and have a healthy lead? Or can Ronnie level things?
Straight away from the break-off.
Maybe close to the yellow pocket, just needs to be careful. He doesn't leave the red over the pocket, which he has done. Now, has he covered it? Was an error. Yeah, and Kyren able to just pop that in such a way that he could get red, of course, not the issue. It was the contact to it which influenced where the cue ball was going to finish, and he couldn't have put it any better.
7.
So far in this match, we've seen whoever. It's certainly a bonus, that red at the bottom of the pack. Difficult blue now. Cued it very well.
And then he got one.
$21.
I'll try and remove these two reds. Get him back down, get himself back down to the...
$24.
It was noticeable in winning that World Championship, the Kyren, greater rhythm. And he felt it wasn't so much a decision to play quicker, it was a decision to be more...
And as you well know,
30.
Fergal, quite often as a snooker, sometimes when you go into your shell as a player, it's very easy to look for problems, almost over-analyse things, and almost get in the way of yourself. Kyren, as you say, much more fluent.
35.
Yeah. Shot. But it's more important to be decisive than correct.
43.
Which is the key. Attention to detail and small margins are crucial. That's going to apply for him today against this opponent in this form.
51.
As mentioned earlier, there's not just the risk.
And we've spoken about both. That's almost set him up
59.
nicely for this one. Ronnie O'Sullivan, bar his match yesterday against Matthew Sell, which, of course, he came through in the end. He was not players are very good at turning it on. Almost as easy as flicking a switch, but sometimes that's not the case. It's
And just when it looked like it's nearly going to be a form, just nestled off.
Wilson, 64.
Looks like he has the reds and get a good white guaranteed. And all of a sudden that 64 lead doesn't look as big as it did a couple of minutes ago. Out of nowhere, plays one left-handed. I'm not sure if he did go for the pot, and I say that because he played double choice for a couple of different reasons.
Ronnie a mile away from that one. I live nearer than that.
Yeah. That's an excellent pot.
1.
Usual
Kyren
choice
Wilson,
there.
1.
Very good pot. Certainly helps.
Back from them without potting the green, so
9.
looking to get the cue ball over
Ronnie
somewhere behind the
O'Sullivan,
yellow.
16.
You want it.
One.
Yeah, just have to settle for. But again, a good sign.
Yeah, because in years gone by, we have seen Ronnie O'Sullivan just opportunity to put this frame to bed. Then in goes the red, so that will be it. Ronnie O'Sullivan will have to come. But it's Kyren Wilson with that early break of 64 that did the initial bulk of the damage in this frame to go along with breaks of 57 and 74 in this mini session. The world champion off to a flying start here in Xi'an, leading Ronnie O'Sullivan 3-1.